Hi everyone. In today's video, we're going to talk about successful aging. Coming up. Hi, this is Dr. Ernesto from AttaBoyCowBoy, and on this video, we give you health and wealth tips to help you be successful. Now in today's video, I'm going to talk about successful aging. And today I'm talking to you from downtown Los Angeles. It's about 6:30 in the morning and I just wanted to share this beautiful skyline with you. So I wanted to give you a couple tips on successful aging, how to age better. Again, this is any age. So I'm going to give you 4 tips on how you can successfully age. The first thing you want to look at is make sure you're hydrated. No matter what age you are, make sure you stay well hydrated. I recently got this watch that measures how hydrated I am, how many steps I take, how many calories I'm eating, all these other things. It's a pretty amazing watch. It worked really well. And it gave me some really valuable insight because I would plug it in and it gave me these graphs about how those metrics were working in my body. And one of the most interesting things I saw was that when I went to bed, obviously I wasn't drinking any water, my hydration levels would drop precipitously all throughout the night. So when I woke up in the morning, I was basically dehydrated every single morning. Now it doesn't surprise me, but I never really thought about it until I saw that. So the first thing you should do is every morning when you wake up, drink a large glass of water. Now when I say a glass is 8 ounces. Don't drink 8 ounces. Drink 24 ounces. Drink like 3 cups of water. Put it in a big jug and down it. That's going to have multiple positive health effects for you. First thing it's going to do, it's going to clean you out. It's going to clean out your system. It's going to clean out a lot of the toxins out of your body. Remember, all night when you're asleep, your body's basically cleaning and repairing itself. That's one of the purposes of sleep. It's kind of like going into the auto body shop and getting a tune-up every night. So your body's working on itself, trying to fix itself up. So there's obviously going to be a lot of discharge. There's a lot of loose parts and dead cells and things your body wants to get rid of. So just flooding yourself with nice clean water will help that stuff move out of your system easier. It also helps lower your insulin levels. Because remember, you haven't been eating all night. So your insulin levels are going to start creeping up. That means that when you eat in the morning, everything you eat is going to go right to your tummy. So regardless of what you see, you definitely do not want to eat sugars in the morning. Avoid them. The American diet is completely off. The cereals and the hot cakes and pancakes and all that stuff, even if you like all that stuff, don't eat it in the morning. Eat it midday or even later in the day. Not for breakfast. Avoid sugars at all costs. Now I'm going to tell you a story about Tom Brady. I don't even know how many Super Bowls he's won already. 5, 6. He's a quarterback for the New England Patriots. The guy's a stud. He's in his 40s. He's the oldest quarterback to be this successful. Remember, the average playing time in the NFL, the average career is about 3.5 years. This guy's in his 40s. He's been playing for over 20 years. Football is one of the worst sports for your body. It just tears you to pieces. This guy's able to maintain himself, and I'll give another video on some of the tips of the things he does. But one of the things he does is he drinks 25 glasses of water a day. He just drinks water all day long. Now, I know you're thinking like, wow, well, how am I going to go to work? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? No, don't worry. It's not going to be as bad as you think. When I get up in the morning, first thing I do is I pound a big glass of water. It's about 3-4 glasses worth. Then I get ready for work. I do my stuff. And your body kind of gets used to it. It self-regulates itself. I'll use the restroom. Then I'll get in the car. I'll start going to hospitals or wherever I'm going for the day. And wherever I get to the place I'm going to, I'll immediately drink a bunch of water so I'm somewhere where I can use the restroom. Now, in the beginning, sure, you're going to be getting up and going really often, but after a while, your body starts getting used to it. You start compressing the time between having to go to the restroom. Remember, your bladder has muscles around it. So just like your muscles, it actually starts building up its ability to retain fluids. It gets stronger. So the amount of time you can go between voiding, which is going to the bathroom, actually starts to increase. You start training your bladder. So in the beginning, again, you're gonna be going to the bathroom a lot, but after the first few days, that muscle gets stronger, your ability to retain fluids increases, and guess what? You can go every hour, every 2 hours like you used to. You're just gonna go have larger volumes of urine. So that's gonna help clean out your body. So the first thing you wanna do is water. Remember this, your body is your house. So think of your driveway, washing out your driveway. You wanna wash out the driveway every morning. Another thing I wanna mention about staying hydrated is that as you get older, your receptors are gonna decrease. So remember, everything in your body starts becoming less and less sensitive and less receptive. So your thirst receptors are gonna become less receptive. I've had patients that come in and I talk to them about their daily habits and what they eat and drink and everything. They'll tell me they'll drink like 1 cup of coffee a day. And I'll ask them, well, aren't you thirsty? No, they're not thirsty because they don't feel it. They can't tell. When you're younger, you might be able to taste things better, hear things better, smell things better, and you'll know when you're hungry, when you're thirsty, all that a lot easier because everything's firing in all 4 cylinders. It's a lot more effective. But as you get older, all those senses are gonna not be as effective. So keep that in mind. You might say, hey, but I'm never thirsty. That's right, because your body gets used to using less and less water. And as you get older, your body's not even gonna know it's thirsty. So just set a routine for drinking water. I like to get up in the morning, I'll drink 3 glasses. You know, right when I get to work, another 3 glasses. When I'm leaving another building, another 3 glasses. Maybe an hour or 2 before I go to sleep, I'll drink 3 glasses. Now that depends on you. It takes a while to get used to that. I'm able to go throughout the night without having to go to the restroom. I just drink water a couple hours before. But I try to get my goal is 15 to 20 glasses of water a day. I try to drink about 3 glasses at a time, and I try to do it at least 5 to 7 times a day. Now I say 7 because sometimes I'm doing extra exercise and I'm drinking extra water while I'm exercising. So keep that in mind, that even if you're not feeling thirsty, your body is thirsty. It does need the water and it could benefit from it. So give your body what it needs so that it could be as healthy as possible. Again, drinking water is gonna help keep your organs and your brain healthier because they need a lot of water to function better. The better hydrated they are, the better they're gonna function. The number one reason that I see patients in the hospital is for dehydration. You have no idea how many people I see come in for that. Especially older people. They come in all the time. They come in and they have like low blood pressure, they have pains, they have all sorts of issues. Sometimes they pass out and we'll check them and all that's wrong with them is they're dehydrated. All they do is give them IV, hydrate them for a day or 2 and they're fine, they go home. Their blood pressure's back to normal, their headaches are gone, some of their aches and pains are gone. It seems like there's something really bad with you. It's scary. They could get cramps in their body, they get really bad pains, and it's a simple thing. It's just not drinking enough water. So number one reason people are admitted to the hospital again, dehydration. So don't be one of those people that are admitted to a hospital for dehydration. Just drink water. Number 2, you want to stay flexible. Your body just gets stiffer as you get older. You know I used to be able to touch my toes and do all sorts of stuff. And I started realizing, hey, I'm getting stiffer, my back, neck. It's normal. You're gonna start in your early 20s and it's gonna get worse and worse as you age. So you can help avoid some of that by stretching yourself. Just stretch every day. Now I stretch. Before I go to the gym where I'm gonna go swimming or something, I'll stretch first, exercise, and I'll swim, and I'll stretch again at the end. Stretching really helps maintain your flexibility. Also participate in activities that are going to help maintain your flexibility. I used to like to dance a lot. I still love dancing, but I haven't been dancing as much. I started noticing my hips were getting stiffer and stiffer. So I've been dancing more and more often now. I go to dances and I move and I feel a lot better. My body's moving a lot better. So you want to make sure that you maintain your flexibility throughout your life. Remember, aging is happening every day. Even babies are aging. So don't wait till you're 80 to start implementing these things. Okay, tip number 3. Remember, you cannot defy aging, but you can modify it. You can adjust how you age. So as you get older, your body's going to become less and less efficient at things, and you're going to struggle to do things. You're going to say, hey, I used to be able to see things from this far away, and now I can only see them from this far. And now my hearing's changing, and now I can't, squat down and touch my feet. Well, address those issues, work on them, and try to make yourself more effective at them. And just remember, those things are normal. We're all going to go through it. You can't avoid it, but you can adjust yourself to it. So one of the things that's going to happen is your brain is not going to be as effective as it used to be. Your response times are going to be slower. Your synapses are going to start shrinking. There's something called a myelin sheath that's around your neurons. It's kind of like a cover. So when you send signals, it travels really fast. Think about the wiring in your house. That copper wiring that has the sheath on it, that sheath starts to break down. So as the electrical signals are traveling, it kind of dissipates because there's less sheathing on it. So the signals reach the parts of your body much slower and less effectively. So people are like slower. When you talk to them, they respond slower, they think slower. That's why it's so much easier for crooks to take advantage of older people, because they're not necessarily thinking as quickly. Now you can help avoid a lot of that by challenging your brain. Make sure that you're using your brain every day. Engage it in things that are new to you. Like read books, play puzzles, do games. Do things that are going to make your brain maintain its health and help you think faster. You're also going to get plaque buildup on your brain. That's just normal. That also can be accelerated depending on your diet. So make sure you're eating healthy things. But your brain is the most important part of your body. Number one, remember, without a brain, you can't do anything, right? I've seen people without legs, hands, fingers, arms, you name it, but never without a brain. You can't live without a brain. So make sure you're eating things that help support healthy brain health, like healthy fats, omega fatty acids, coconut oils, raw olive oil, things like that, to feed your brain, to make sure your brain is staying stronger and you don't slow your reaction times. If your brain is already kind of slow and you're like, hey, I'm 40 or I'm 60 and I'm not the way I used to be, guess what? You can just work on it like you do on your muscles and build it up again. Go online and work on some of those puzzles that are for IQ building. The IQ tests, those are awesome. I love those. There's multiple websites you can look on. You can Google, and those are great exercise for your brain. It doesn't cost anything. You can do them on your phone when you're waiting in lines. You do them at home. Instead of watching Netflix, get your laptop. And they're kind of cool. They have these cool games where you figure out number sequences and colors and stories. Those are excellent for your brain. They're going to make you smarter no matter what age you are. Tip number 4, maintain your muscle and your joints. Now, when you see older people, what do I see? I see people that are stiff walking, and they end up with knee replacements and hip replacements and all this kind of stuff. It's actually not normal. That's called abnormal aging. Now, we think it's normal because we see so many people doing it. We say, hey, that's normal, but it's not. If you go somewhere like I said, like my grandparents that live in Mexico on the ranch, that died in their hundreds, they didn't have any joint replacements, and they were walking around feeding cows, riding horses, and doing all kinds of stuff. I think most of the patients I see here, I'd be afraid to tell them to ride a horse. I'd think, wow, they're gonna fall off, they're too stiff. Now, I'm not knocking anybody, I'm just trying to give you some examples of things you can do. What's the difference? Well, my grandparents are really active, and when I go to Mexico or I go to Central America or South America, and where folks are a little poorer and they have to work a little bit more on their own, they actually maintain their physical health longer. So make sure as you age, again, whatever age you are, make sure that you're active and you're maintaining your joints. And think about how you can preserve your body. Now, I'm going to give you an example. I'm 44. I've had 4 leg surgeries on my leg from basketball, wrestling, and accidents. I've had 4. Now, I used to run marathons. I love running marathons. I ran them for 10 years, and I would love to keep running another 10 or 20 years. But guess what? I can't. Because if I do, I'm going to wear those joints out faster. Now I'm going to have a knee replacement. I don't want knee replacements or hip replacements or any of that stuff. So guess what? I'm going to adjust myself. I no longer run. I no longer play basketball anymore. Sure, I love doing those things, but it's time for me to introduce new things into my life. Instead of playing basketball, I'm going to pick up dancing now as my hobby. Instead of running, now I swim. There's no impact there. See what I'm saying? There's millions of activities you can engage in. Don't get stuck on one thing. Don't say, hey, I hear this from patients that ski. I had this patient that was in her 30s. And she had a double knee replacement, and she was getting ready for 2 hip replacements. And I said, wow, what were you doing? How'd you blow out all your joints? Beautiful girl. She's all, I love to ski. I forgot what she said, an alpine skier. I think that's the ones where they start from really high and they're jumping, they're going really, really quick down hills. And I said, wow, I didn't know skiing. She told me, yeah, skiing is really tough on your joints because think about it, you're jumping off mountains and you're slamming into the snow. Sure, you're moving, but it's still a lot of damage to your joints. And she just would not stop. She just kept going and going. She would damage herself. She was hurting herself, and now she's gonna have all 4 of her joints replaced, and she's like 34. In my opinion, that is not a good thing. Just as an example, she could have switched to doing something else that didn't do as much impact, like hiking. Hiking's cool, and you're still up in the mountains, right? You can do things like, I think it's called cross-country skiing, where you're just kind of walking on snow and you're skiing. You can swim. I'm sure you can think of all sorts of different activities you could do, but manage your activities as you age. Don't do things that are going to damage your body. You don't want to be playing tackle football in your 40s or 50s. You're going to have a lot of problems. I met a patient one time that was 40 years old, and the poor guy became a quadriplegic playing softball. Now that rarely happens. Softball's great. It's one of those sports you can play into you're much older. But this guy would run and he would try to steal bases and go head first into the bases. I mean, that's not necessarily bad, but his body, from what I knew, had other issues with it. He should have not tried to steal bases. Just take it easy. You don't have to be the weekend warrior. I do martial arts, and I met guys in their 50s and 60s and do it because they learn how to age gracefully and take care of your body. So make sure you take care of your joints, but stay active and maintain your body, your muscles and stuff, so that your posture's good, your bones are strong, your muscles are strong, and you're flexible. A lot of things start happening when you get older when you don't exercise. Another thing I see a lot with patients, I see this curving, their spine, and they're like this. You don't want that stuff to happen. Don't let your body get weak and start curving over. Stretch yourself out. Do Superman stretches every morning. Work on your abdominals and your core so that way you can maintain yourself. That's going to allow you to have better breathing. When you are crouching over like that, you're smashing all your organs in, especially your lungs. You're not going to be able to breathe as effectively. So you want to make sure that you're maintaining all that. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, please comment below. Thank you.